It's a man's world, they said, but clearly not anymore. Look around you and you will get the answers. The latest in her huge repertoire, completing 30 years in the Hindi film industry and delivering hit upon hit. The latest one, I'm sure you'd be hoping. Rani Mukerji joining us here because Mardaani 3 is about to hit the screens. What's the most Mardaani thing you've done personally in your life, Rani?
I think every day, I think we women show our Mardaani side. Sometimes while commuting, sometimes in the house, sometimes facing the world in the workplace, everywhere. I think we women show some side of our Mardaniness every day.
You know, it's interesting you said that, and I'll come back to this daily challenges that women face, but I want to talk a little bit about the film. Does it get uncomfortable sometimes when your films get bracketed into women-centric films?
Of course, it's a label that we should stop using. And I think the generation today should help us change that narrative, because nowadays people actually go to the cinemas if they like the trailer. If they like the content, they go to see it. So I think films should be viewed as good films or bad films, or interesting or not interesting. I think this whole thing about labeling films, I think it's quite passé now.
Which is funny because so early on, I think among your second and third film, you had already done Mehendi,
Yes.
you've done Black, you've done No One Killed Jessica. And before it became fashionable, you know, all of these were women-centric films. It's just that it wasn't as fashionable to call them that at that time.
I think a better way to put these films is that these films, the protagonist was a female, you know, and I think that's how films should be viewed. Because, you know, gone are the days where we used to, we don't say like male pilot and female pilot. We don't say male chef and female chef. We go to a restaurant.
Actually, you say female pilot for some reason, but never male pilot.
Exactly. No, but when we get onto a plane, we don't ask, no, is it a female pilot or is it a male pilot? Or do we book our ticket saying that, is it going to be a female pilot or a male pilot? So I think when we go to a restaurant also, we don't ask, is it a male chef or a female chef? We eat the food and we say, great. You know, and we give it stars. So I think it's high time we start viewing films also in the same way and stop calling female actresses, let's say, actor. You know, we are actors, and either we are the main protagonist or we are in the supporting cast.
That there is still a typecasting. You know, you would see strong protagonist roles for women, you know, who come back after a baby or after marriage. But are they seen? You know, I was watching an interview where somebody said that, you know, when a woman gets married, it's very difficult for the audience to imagine them as their girlfriend. And we want that girlfriend experience for the viewer when he's sitting in the hall.
Yeah, but if you're playing a role of a girlfriend, then of course not. If you're playing a role of an officer or a teacher, I don't think boys have to take them as their girlfriends, right?
But you can't be a romantic lead anymore.
Why not?
You can't be the Tina of Kuch
Why
Kuch
not?
Hota Hai.
Why not? Tina will also age, right? Tina is not going to get frozen in time. So I think change is constant, and it's important to grow as a community and to grow as you know, audiences who are accepting different roles for different women and different female characters. You know, everything is not about romance. You are a journalist. I played a journalist as well. So I don't think we should, you know, bracket films as so frivolous and say that, oh, films are only about trying to look at an actress as your girlfriend. I think it's a very shallow and a very narrow way of looking at cinema. Cinema is vast. There are different roles for women, there are different stories, there are inspirational stories, there's drama, there's comedy. So romance is just one part of cinema. You should not give so much importance. I would like to tell you that.
All right, let's open it up for some questions, and let's go to the women first. So we have a couple of young ladies over here.
Yes.
Please give your name and your question.
Hello ma'am, I'm a big fan. I'm Radhika. My question was, what about the story of Mardaani 3 made you want to step back into the shoes of Shivani Roy? And what all did you put into this role that we are unaware of?
So firstly, you will know on 30th Jan, which is day after, why I did the film. You will exactly know what made me choose this film. Mardaani, as I always say, it's basically all the anger that I have towards all the perpetrators of crime towards, you know, women. That's why Mardaani was born. It was after the Nirbhaya case, as I always say, that the birth of Mardaani happened there. And as an artist, I could express my anger through a role like this. So when you see a woman in uniform, you feel empowered. Your second question was, what is there? What did I put in? So whether it's this Mardaani or it is Mardaani 1 or 2, I think it is me giving my all to the role, because it's not a film just about performing. It's also a film that deals with such horrific realities that happen on girls, on children, on women, that as a woman I'm already very, very disturbed and perturbed about. And Mardaani is my way of expressing that grief, that anger, and my way of telling all my sisters and all the beautiful women in the world and in the country that there is a power within us and we have to recognize that. And I want to empower the girls through this part. Thank you.
Do you think the country has changed? The grief and rage you said you felt after the Nirbhaya rape case and everyone was on the streets. In all of these years, do you see any changes in our country?
It's only got worse, no? Because in 2012, we spoke about women's safety. In 2026, we talk about the same thing. So as a community, we need to talk more about these cases. A lot of times, women shy away from seeing content like this and say, oh my God, this is very disturbing. But today is the time that one must feel disturbed. One must feel that discomfort and must feel uncomfortable, because only when we are uncomfortable will we be able to see the realities that are happening around us, and it will make us consciously talk about it, have conversations which will lead to some kind of change.
But why is that? I mean, when there was so much spontaneous anger, we saw candlelight vigils, we saw a whole new law being passed by our parliament, then why do you think that things...
More and more laws need to come, more and more. Like, see, there's already there is so much that is happening after Mardaani, which is, there have been so many squads that have come out for the safety of women. There's the Damani squad, there's Nirbhaya squad, there are so many helplines. So there is a positive that has started, and only with more conversations will more things happen. We have to come to a point where men are going to feel even scared to think about committing a crime. Forget doing the crime. We have to reach that stage.